Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Hope everybody is having a great week. So, we're going to get right into our topic, and our topic is neediness holding you back? So, when you're fighting to reach new levels and level up in general, the thing that might be holding you back is neediness. And we all have things that we need, but there's a difference between being needy and needing, like ing. So, what's the difference, and how does it apply to us in various situations? And how does it apply in the main themes in our life? And as far as this video is concerned, the main things we're going to be talking about are health, wealth, and love. So, neediness is when you think that something from outside or something outside of yourself is going to make you or bring you happiness. So, as far as health is concerned, we'll start there. You could be a person and you could be perfectly healthy, right? In the sense of like you don't have any true ailments. But if you think, okay, once I lose weight, I'll be happy. And it's okay, like I said, if you want to be healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to go by this diet. Okay, I'm going to go do the Lori Harvey 1,200 calories a day and do Pilates every day. Or once I get that, I'm going to be able to lose weight and then I'm going to be happy, right? Not, okay, while I'm eating, I'm going to listen to myself and see, am I telling myself that I'm full? I should stop. Or I'm going to do my best to live a fulfilled life and follow my passion. And you'll find that you won't even have as much time to sit around and eat, right? Because you're not just sitting on the couch in front of the TV, you're living your life. But we're not talking about those things. We're talking about looking outside of ourselves for the answer to our happiness, when the answer is actually inside of ourselves. Like I said, you might say, and you hear these things all the time. You hear people say, oh, I've tried every diet out there. I've tried every program out there and I still can't lose weight. Okay, I hear you. But again, you're looking for something outside of yourself to help you. Have you tried listening to yourself and your body saying, stop, or I'm full? Have you gone through those periods where you might emotionally eat? Oh, I don't feel well, so I just keep eating. Those kinds of things are things that must be dealt with from the inside and fixed from the inside, right? And that's physically. You might also say something in the name of physical health, right? You might say like, well, it's not really health, I suppose, but it is a physical thing. So once I dress better, right, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna save up all this money and I'm gonna take myself on a shopping spree. I'm gonna buy myself whatever I want, and then once I dress better, once I look better, I'll be able to have the life I want. I'll be happy. Those clothes are not gonna make you happy. If you can't dress with the clothes that are in your closet, you buying more clothes is not gonna help you be able to dress, because you didn't know how to dress with what you have. So now you've bought even more items and you still don't know how to dress until you take the time to say, well, I'm only going to dress the way that I feel comfortable, or I'm only going to dress in a way that makes me happy, or I know the kind of things that I want to do, or I know the way that I want to look, or the style that I like. I'm going to create a Pinterest board, and then as I acquire items, I'll dress that item until I feel like I can comfortably dress a skirt in any kind of way. Dress it up, dress it down. And then I'll add more pieces, or I'll take the time to add a few neutrals, or I'll take the time to add a few basics and work those in my closet, right? There's even a thing where people have what they call the capsule wardrobes, where they literally have 20 items on a rack, and then they can get dressed from those 20 items. If you only have 20 items of clothes, you have to be able to dress yourself. So if you think that buying a bunch of things is going to make you happy, it's not. The happiness has to come from inside. And we see this all the time. And in moving into wealth, I literally was having a conversation with a friend of mine, like right before I recorded this episode. And she was talking about a guy that she knew, and he received one of those like PPP loans or whatever. And I think the loan she said was like $36,000. And he was like, oh yeah, I got this $36,000. I'm going to be good for whatever amount of time, right? I'm going to be good. Like, I'm going to have everything I want, whatever. Like, I'm going to be good. But in the name of wealth and neediness, they go hand in hand. If you are a person who thinks that once I get this large check, or once I win the lottery, or win some sweepstakes or whatever, or just make it big one time, then I'll have a million, billion, trillion dollars, and then I'll be happy. But the reality is, if you're not good with money now, you're not going to be good with money later. Think about it. All those the rappers, the singers. There's so many people across different cultures, different ethnicities, different racial groups, whatever, who have made a substantial amount of money, but in a short amount of time, or maybe they had a one-hit wonder, or maybe their career ended after so many years, and then you look up and they're bankrupt, right? They file for bankruptcy because they didn't have the money skills before. So, in the name of neediness, one thing that I want to talk about and segue, since this has come up, is what I needed was the skill. Okay. So, if you're a person and you need the skill so that you can do your inner work, and then you have acquired the skill, you needed the skill, right? I need the skill of managing money, or I need the skill of um, working through my emotions so that I don't become an emotional eater, or I need the skill of dressing my body type. Have you looked into the key base system, or do you know your fundamental body type? Like, your fundamental body types are like apple, pear, hourglass, triangle, and then the key base system goes into like the natural, the theatrical, romantic, the true romantic, the all the different body types, right? And they're a little bit more nuanced. So you might acquire the skill, you might need the skill, but once you have the skill, then you can apply the skill yourself. And this is where the neediness doesn't exist, because once you have a skill, you know when to use it and when not to. Sometimes things are okay to, like they say, you must learn the rules and then you can bend the rules. So with wealth, and as it pertains to neediness, you might say to yourself, I just need to make, or I just need to get $100,000. If I had $100,000, it'll take me for a year, and then once I get that 100K, I will be straight, right? I can pay off all my bills, I can pay off whatever, and then I'll just be happy. I can go shopping every day, I can quit my job, I can live the life of my dreams. Um, that money gonna run out so fast, it doesn't even make any sense. The money gonna run out so fast because if you don't have the skill of keeping money, you won't have the skill of keeping money. Like I said, we see it all the time with people who file bankruptcy. I read a statistic that said 95%. 95% is everybody. Okay, if it's 100 people, only 5 people. That's everybody. So 95% of people who are entertainers within 5 years have, or let me not misquote. I think it's like, let me not misquote. It's 95% of NFL football players, basketball players. I think it was like in the sports arena, and I'll have to relook at the quote. But it was like 95% of them, all of their money is gone within 5 years after they retire. Can you imagine? You think you have money troubles. You've been being paid 100 million plus, right? Some people are making 200 million. I think LeBron's contract is like $200 million a year. You've been making $200 million a year, and all your money is gone in 5 years. Why? Because you didn't have the skill of managing money. So getting the money did not make you happy, because you're going to lose the money and then you'll be unhappy still. So neediness is when you think that something outside of yourself is going to make you happy in some kind of way. How do we counteract that? Okay, so the first thing is to be aware of it. Once you're aware, you say, oh my God. I'll give you an example. This happened to me recently. I was reading a book, and it's an incredible book. You should check it out. It's called Get Rich Lucky Bee, the Lucky Bee word, okay? So, Get Rich Lucky Bee, okay? So, in the book, she's talking about like manifestation and like her journey, like her personal journey with her, and how it started, and her husband, and how they incorporated manifestation in their lives, and blah blah blah. And I remember having this moment thinking like, oh, once I get through with this book, I'm gonna have what I need to do. And I was like, no, that's not the answer. Once I get through with this book, I'll have more tools that I can then apply the work that I need to apply to myself and then use the tools to accomplish my goals. But the answers are still inside of me. It's like if you are building a house, um, and you're like, okay, once I have this house, I'm going to be happy. Once I get a new house, I'm going to be happy. Once I get a new house, I'm going to be happy. And then you get the new house. If you don't like your current house, you're going to be upset the whole time. I promise. Oh, I got this new house, and it's like the minute I got in, everything breaks. Well, all you asked for was a new house, right? So you have to have these skills, these tools. You have to have the things necessary to help you help yourself. But the actual thing that's outside of you is not going to bring you happiness. The actual thing outside of you is not going to bring you happiness. So we talked about physically, our health physically, our health mentally, our health spiritually. It's all the same thing. Once I go to this guru, I'll be happy. Once I just need to take this course, okay, and then I'll have everything I need and I'll be happy. I just need to meet this particular person. I know once they talk to me, then they'll automatically unblock all of my mental and spiritual blocks, and then I'll be happy. There's no answer that's going to cure everything that's outside of yourself. You have all of the answers you need inside of yourself. It's crazy. And there's this book, another book you should read. It's called Cybernetics, okay? Cybernetics. And it's by, I want to say, I think his last name is Maltz, Maltz. Maltz. I can't think of the first name off the top of my head. But in Cybernetics, there's a whole chapter about intuition. And in the particular chapter, he talks about this baseball player. And this baseball player never ever struck out. He had like some crazy, crazy statistics, right? And they were interviewing him and they said, well, you've got these astronomical statistics. How did you do it? And he was like, there's a little voice in my head that tells me exactly what kind of pitch it's going to be, and it's never wrong. Isn't that crazy? He said, there's a voice inside of my head that tells me the answers. There are people who trade stocks who say the same thing. Oh, the stock market, it was going up, and I heard this little voice in my head that said, pull your money out right now. So I did, and then the stock market just crashed. What? The answers are literally inside you. They are literally inside you. You have to listen to yourself. Now, we read books, we listen to podcasts, we do a lot of things to have more skills or to be aware of certain things so that we can work on them ourselves. But the actual answers that we need are inside. And anytime we feel like something outside of ourselves is going to make us happy, we're being needy. The last topic is love. And this is the most interesting topic because under the umbrella of love, at least for this episode, I'm including friendships, familiar relationships like family, and I'm also including like your relationships you have with a love interest, a partner, a romantic one. So when we think about this, there's I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. But there's a book, and it's called The Backwards Law. And so in the book, The Backwards Law, he basically says, like, there's the girl and the boy. And the girl, she likes the boy, right? And as long as she likes the boy, he doesn't like her. He doesn't reciprocate any feelings. It's a very unrequited situation. But the minute she moves on, the minute she goes and grows past him, is on to the next thing, he's now in love. And what that is an explanation in neediness. Sometimes when we're so needy for that person to be in our life or to give us love, it actually repels them. It actually does the opposite. Okay? Just like I was saying with the health or the wealth or any items. If you think, oh, I need this house, as soon as I get the house, I'll be happy. You'll get the house and you'll still not be happy. You'll want a bigger house or a better house or whatever. The same thing happens with people. As a woman, I hear this a lot. Oh, I'm gonna get me a man, and once I get me a man, I'll be happy. Girl, I just need me a man to treat me good and spoil me. Oh, and then I'll be so happy. Oh, girl, when I go through my phase and I'm feeling down, I just go get me a man. What? If you're not happy by yourself, you're not going to be happy with the person. A, you're not going to even be able to track the happy person, so that's dead. And B, when you have this person, if you're a miserable human being, you're going to find a way to put misery in every single thing you do. And it's not just romantic relationships, it's all relationships with people. When people can feel that neediness, it's very, very, very repelling. So I'll tell you a story. I have two nieces, and they were at my house. They were playing, and one is kind of quiet, and she's the older one, and the younger one is a little bit more like outspoken and bold and outgoing. They're both pretty friendly, but the younger one is definitely the louder of the two. She wants to talk, and she wants to like, she's just kind of in your face. The older one's a little bit more subdued and quiet and laid back. So the older one was sitting on the couch, and I came around and I tickled her, right? Just tickling her. And the little one goes, "Tickle me." And I was like, oh my God. Like it made me not want to tickle her. I mean, those are my nieces. And of course, out of love and understanding, I was like, no, I'm going to sneak attack you. I'm going to wait till you're not looking. I'm going to sneak attack you. And she was looking like, okay, I accept your answer, but I want you to do what I say when I want you to do what I say. But the older sister, she got tickled. She didn't see it coming. She wasn't expecting it. And she laughed and she giggled. The little one needed it. It was like, tickle me. And it was like that energy of neediness was so repelling. And that's simple. Those are my nieces. I love them. They're little. It's not a big deal. But magnify that scale. Magnify that. I heard a story once by this woman, and she was saying she was dating this guy, and he was a real big drunk. I mean, like a super drunk. Like, I'm drunk. If it's 7 days in a week, I'm drunk like four of them, five of them a week. Like that's every day. So he was dating her, and he would call her like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like, "Hey, can you come get me? I've been drinking, and I can't drive." So she would get up, girl. Listen, girl. Whew, girl. She would get up in the middle of the night and go get him. And of course, when she got to wherever he was, she would call him and he wouldn't answer his phone. And then she would call and she would call and she would call and she would call and she would call until the point that it was just disrespectful. And then maybe he would answer, maybe he wouldn't, maybe she gave him a ride, maybe she didn't, but she's wasted her time, she's wasted her whatever, her energy. But she needed, right? She was needy for it. She was needy for his love. She needed it. And it's so disrespectful, really, because the guy then later tells her, well, not even tells her, this is one of her friends that's a mutual friend with the guy, tells the girl that I know and says, "Hey, you should watch out for him because you just kept calling him." And he was like, "Look, she's called like what, 17 times now? Like, oh, she just, like he was like, he was telling her, like, basically he's making fun of you." But this is the same guy that called her that said he was too drunk to drive and whatever, whatever. When we're needy, when we are needy for it, the relationships you attract, the people that you attract in your life, they can't treat you right, right? Because if they are in your life and you have that needy energy, they're really repulsed by you. But they might manipulate you, they might use you, they might abuse you. So in conclusion, um, when you are looking for something outside of yourself to bring you happiness, you're never going to have it. You have to be happy as you are. You have to work incrementally, right? If you say, if I had $1 million, I'll be happy. No. But if I save this much money that I say I'm going to save every week, and then I look at my account and there's money in my account, I could be happy, right? I've been working towards my goal. I've been seeing progress. If I say, oh, once I get this man, I'm going to be happy. No. I'm going to love myself to the best of my abilities. I'm going to take myself out. I'm going to enjoy my company. And if someone sits down beside me and we have a great conversation, that's just added joy in my life. Not I needed that person in order to be a happy and complete person, right? So, with that being said, I just want you to know that I wish you nothing but the best along your journey, and I'm praying for you and I'm rooting for you. You got this, you can do it. And as always, goodbye.